What is one ordinary thing that you can't do? Engage in appropriate eye contact. Blow a bubble with gum. Whistle. Same. I cannot whistle. If I was told to whistle or die, I'd die. I have a buddy that can't burp. He can pretty much fart on command though. Wow. He managed to take his skill points from burping to farting. Roll my R's. I'm pretty bad at this too. The sort of good news is it's not our fault. If your native language doesn't contain the sound, it is extremely difficult to train your tongue and/or vocal cords to make that sound. And it gets harder the longer you go in life without attempting it. Different dialects pose similar issues. In that many people raised in the southern US pronounce the word pen the same way they pronounce pin because they literally cannot hear the difference. Drove me peeping crazy when I moved here and heard people saying ink pin, and it wasn't until college when I took voice and articulation for my major that I learned it wasn't just a lazy pronunciation thing. Snap my fingers. I pretend I can do it. But the sound is so weak. Weak snap gang. Just imagine that is how Infinity War endin'. You should have gone for the head. PHT. Can't do that whistle thing where you make it louder using your thumb and index finger. You have to bend your tongue back over itself and put your two sets of fingers in pressed again, each on top of your folded tongue. As you blow, your lips will naturally tighten round your fingers, so don't worry too much about them. Fingertips should be meeting in a V formation. Change the V angle of your fingers meeting until you hear a whistling noise. Try both widening and narrowing the V. It will probably be quite faint at first. It works easiest with your index and middle finger from each hand. Once you get, you'll be able to do with any two sets of finger combo E, G, thumb pinky on same hand or even separate. It took me a good 10 minutes from being shown to being able to do it. Just keep trying till you get it. My handwriting is so bad my wife usually can't even read it. And we've been together over 20 years. I forgot. My spelling is worse. My doctor's office last week asked if I could do better. That was embarrassing. Get my speak together. Keeping a plant alive. I have a lot of trouble with directions and maps. I can't process it. Mostly. I can't do geometry either, so I think that's related. Ironically, I'm a very good Tetris player though, so I have some spatial reasoning skills, but I can barely read a peeping map. Ride a bike. Yeah. Tried to learn in 2019 as a 28-year-old. Didn't work too well. Apparently shutting the peep up and minding my own business. Start a conversation. Keep a conversation going. Dating. It seems like it's relatively simple for most people. But I've always had horrible luck with it. I'm 26 and I've never been on a date. I just figure there's something wrong with me. See. I think I can date without too much trouble. My problem is that I have nobody to ask out. Sounds like the solution to both your problems is right in front of you. Read facial expressions or detect tone of voice. I can pick up those things in people I'm very familiar with. But in others, it's borderline impossible. It's a lot easier in anime though, because those exaggerated expressions are pretty easy to read. I have the same problem. Turns out I'm autistic. Maybe you are too? Yeah. I am. But it's interesting. Because I get a very unique look on all kinds of stuff. Cry. My body stops it before I ever start. On the flip side, I cry too easily and it prevents me from having much needed conversations. Me too. When I get angry and begin arguing with someone, I suddenly start to cry for no reason.